Good morning and welcome to the day 1A of the European Championships here from Krakow in Poland 2019. Everything's getting underway. We've just started round 1. Players are setting up on the screen, so let's go ahead and take a look at their lists. Everything seems to be working now. Rolf Hillebarg from Oslo in Sweden is playing the Techno Union bomber with plasma torpedoes, DRK-1 probe droids, the FIFAN Outlaw pilot, the TA-175, the Trade Federation drone with Discord missiles, Trade Federation drone with energy shell charges, and 3 more drones with energy shell charges. On the other side of the screen, we've got Arkadiusz Kuna from Wrocław, Poland. He's playing Vimoradi. Just set up after placing forces. They resign the compromising intel condition to 1 enemy ship. Wow. C3PO, Le'ulo La'ampa. While you defend or perform a primary attack, if you are stressed, you must roll 1 fewer dice and 1 additional attack die. 1 fewer defense die. Elo Asti and Niennam with the heroic S-foils, pattern analyzer and jamming beam, and Elo Asti, heroic S-foils, pattern and jamming beam. So, everything's ready there. They've got their asteroids placed, and now they're moving on to deployment, and it looks like the Trade Federation have already deployed in the bottom left corner of the screen. Now, I've got things about as... No, that FIFAN thing, that name's way too long. So let's try changing that a little bit to make it so things are a bit more effective on the screen. Let's get rid of that one, and we're going to just change autopilot to AP. And let's see how that one goes. And the Techno Union bomber. Split it as UN, and we'll just leave it at that. But everything else seems to be fine. Yeah, let's hoisted it up a little bit more, a little bit neater. So Arkadiusz and Kuna and Rolf Hillebarg are personal friends of mine. Arkadiusz came over to the System Open in Spain in 2016 with some of the Wrocław guys. Hangover, tío. Y no lo tienes. Claro. No quieres comentar tampoco. Pero en inglés. Vale, va. Suerte con el hangover. So yeah, Rolf Hillebarg is also a friend of mine. Why have I not got the sync shields? Right, there we go. That's it. Everything's finally finished now. Rolf Hillebarg is also a friend of mine. He's the person that provides me with the grips for my bases. Now, right now in this round, they decided not to use my bases because Rolf's already got grips on his bases. And they're doing this compromising intel thing. So hang on a sec. He seems to have given that to.
Fun. Let's see if I remember how to do this.
Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be on the...
Have you been playing yesterday?
I would guess it's on the Wat Tambor, not the Wat Tambor, the Bowl Bulb.
So, and it went way too long.
Let's have a look. Compromising intel.
This is crazy. So which one's which?
Elo Asti is yellow, and Nin is purple.
Okay, that's it.
So during the system phase, if the enemy Vimoradi is at range 0 to 3, flip your dial face up. Right, okay. So while you defend or perform an attack against the enemy Vimoradi, you cannot spend focus tokens.
You're set. Okay, cool.
Alright, so it looks like he probably put it on the FIFAN Outlaw autopilot with TA-75. Okay. So I'm pretty sure the FIFAN Outlaw doesn't have any specific ability.
Calculate.
Let's have a look at the TA-75.
Okay, let's do it quick.
I can't remember what the name of the upgrade is. TA75, after a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 with its calculate on its action bar is destroyed, each friendly ship at 0 to 3 with calculate its action bar gains. Right, so he wants to kind of like get rid of that as soon as possible to make sure that like it only happens once, only triggers once, giving them all a free calculate. Apart from that, it's a question of trying to remove the Discord missiles from the Trade Federation drone, which is the actual one, the one that's painted brown. Marked with number 6, you can just see it's the second ship in the formation behind the Trade Federation bomber.
Vimorati is going to coordinate Lulo. And Lulo is
Go ahead. Sit down, Mr. Golonka. It's been a while. Why have you brought that with you?
Well, I didn't brought up it. It was given to me after 6 months after
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, they
Cool.
forgot it.
I thought it was just a bit weird you were carrying it around. Okay, so
Every time is good for bragging.
yeah, of course, especially if you're Lukas Golonka.
Especially,
Of course,
that's
right.
what I do.
So Lukas joins me. Lukas is one of the team members from Arkadiusz' home team of Russia, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You had your Polish team championship, the XTC championship yesterday. You're part of the Polish team. You're the captain, right?
I were the captain.
No, I thought. Right,
I were as a guy who picks the guys to play the team.
Right. Okay.
Bartosz Wyszycki was captain.
All right. Okay, I get you.
But I love to see this game because Arkadiusz is my friend
Yeah.
and he is one of my most fearsome opponents.
Mm-hmm.
I think I lost to him more times than to any other man.
He's a very good player. I remember seeing him play last year at the System Open in UK.
Yeah?
Yeah, last year, like when it was in Birmingham. Yeah. Yeah, he's a very good player. Did he made it into the Polish team one time, or am I mistaken?
No, he have never wanted to be there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And how did it go for you guys in the end?
Well,
Yesterday.
I went 8-2, and my team, after pretty good fight, ended up on the 4th place, 1 small point behind Netherlands,
Yeah.
and 2 big points behind Germany and Spain.
Yeah.
So Spain pretty much nailed it yesterday. They won 5 times against best teams.
Yeah.
They were amazing and they truly deserve it. The Germany was so solid for the whole tournament. Yeah, every single game it was like 3-2 win, and they did what they did best. So they were precise, and they were solid. Yeah.
Well, really well done. I mean, I was really happy to see Spain win yesterday as well. Obviously, as you know, I'm very close with the Spanish team, especially Marcelo. And yeah, I've been there with him since, like, really the team format that we use was really based on a format that Marcelo came up with like a few years before we even started doing ETC, with all the pairings and stuff like that, based largely on the ETC with with the Warhammer Fantasy Battles format. But yeah, we'd had a couple of years where it was a bit difficult. Last year we made it into top 4, yeah, when you did the top 4 round. And this year, like, when he told me the team, I was like, no, they're pretty good, man. You picked some good players.
And they're really solid hombres.
Yeah, absolutely. Hombres muy tochos. Es lo que son.
Muy guapos.
Muy guapos, eso sí. Lots of beards. Huh?
A lot of beards.
A lot of beards. Yeah. Sometimes I make fun of them because they had this program. Yeah, they had this program that they used to do in Spain that they would call the Droid Factory. And everybody that was on it would have beards. And so I just call it the Beard Factory.
Yeah, they're amazing at X-Wing and they are top models.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're very good. And it was a big surprise as well, though. That, like, they played so well on that second day. They didn't lose any games.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't lose any rounds, I should say. Okay, we've got information that the total player count for today is 147.
I think it's half of what it will be tomorrow.
Tomorrow's supposed to be something like somewhere between 220 to 250.
Yeah, exactly.
147 means that on the record of 5-1 today, you're going to get a total of 16 players going through today.
Pretty big number.
It's a big number.
16?
Yeah, more than 10%. Yeah, 1 in 10 people will be going through to the top cut on Sunday.
It's a pretty large number.
Right, now he's dropped these probe droid things. Have you seen these probe droid things before?
Well, I've played with them.
Yeah, can you explain them to me then, so I
Yeah.
don't have to go looking around for all sorts of
Basically,
information?
those are extension for target lock and gems.
Oh right, it's like a sensor repeater. Okay.
Exactly. So at the initiative 0, you can move those things in 5 directions using bank to maneuver or straight to maneuver.
Right. Okay.
So if anybody would put his ships onto these droids, they would roll die, and on focus they would destroy it.
Yeah.
They got 1 HP, so it's pretty fragile thing. So if somebody wants to destroy it, they could.
Yeah.
But when you fire it with 3 bank and then move it with 2 bank, you can pretty much target lock your whole team without taking any disadvantage from this.
Right. Okay. So yeah, definitely you can see why then he's dropped it right into the center of the board and then disengaged and just trying to let everything trying to take care of itself.
Take
The only
space.
thing would be is like he's giving him the free opportunity to destroy it now because they're out of range of each other, so he might as well take the shots on the droid, right?
Well, I think the separatist player make a pretty much a big mistake. He went with his back to his opponent. He didn't take target locks from the droids.
Yeah.
I think he should take at least 3 target locks, and the rest would be calculated, because of the calculated network. It would work fine.
Yeah.
So, and I think Arkadiusz will use it for his advantage, because as you can see,
He's coming in fast.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
I think this matchup is going to be nin-numb against the whole world, because those droids cannot do anything for his 4K wide.
Yeah.
What happens in street?
LST the same, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too much health and too much speed and firepower for those droids to handle,
and
in
he's-
my opinion.
Yeah, Rolf has kind of realised he's kind of completely left his flank exposed, and the speed with what Arkadiusz drove Ulo in has kind of caught him off guard completely. Hey Lemur, how are you doing?
Aren't you playing?
Also flips.
Wow, oh bye.
Okay.
Forward and focus.
Arkadiusz contra Rolf.
Yeah.
Does anything
So,
happen
Separatist
at the beginning?
salad against separatist
Separatist swarm against Rebels resistance salad, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
let's
he's
start
talking.
with Elo.
How's that?
Range 3 at the bomber.
Okay, so Nien Num firing on the bomber
Yeah.
gets or hit in a
Crit.
crit and a blank. And there you've got a focus and a blank. Spends the focus for 2.
See, calculates aren't that bad.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah. Right.
2 calculates were used.
And hit and crit.
Yeah, everything.
And 1 evade, 1 focus and a blank. Spends another calculate, takes 1. And that's face up. That's a stunned pilot.
So after
No, it's blinded pilot. My bad. Sorry.
And Lulo shoots at range 2 with 3 dice because he's stressed.
and Lulu will shoot.
Yep, Lulo firing, and he gets 3 dice because he's stressed. 2 hits and a crit, 2 evades, takes 1 more.
So flip is to a 9.
Oh no, yeah,
I just move it.
Crack shot or what?
crack shot, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Right, whoa.
For engage, okay?
So Simon went to see the crits. We'll soon find out. What are those?
Those were his cards, so I told him to go change over to the right cards.
Okay.
That's structural damage
And stun pilot.
and stunned pilot. So we got blinded pilot, structural damage, stunned pilot.
I love how prepared you are for these tournaments.
Mwah!
You are just amazing, man. Amazing.
But he went and took the wrong card, so I had to quickly run over.
Sure. I would have never thought about it to make this sign language or this dots language.
Well, this is the thing, is that like what you see a lot of now, especially with so many streams as well, is that a lot of people kind of stealing ideas from everybody, and like and it's a shame really, because in a lot of cases we're not really giving credit to the person. Like that is, I mean, there's a lot of things I did that were groundbreaking when I started doing it,
The
right?
dots on the ships, for example.
The
I
circles
think.
I put on,
Yeah.
on the stems, yeah. I started doing that 3 years ago to be able to identify swarms. I've not done it in this case because I didn't want to kind of delay round 1 from starting, and I've not got a timer on the screen. I've not been on chat, so I forgot about that. Let me double check on what time we're on.
As you can see, the male predator is looking at
5
his.
minutes on the round. Let
Okay,
me get that
never
up on
mind.
the screen.
Making stupid mistakes on stream.
Yeah, Rolf realizing the mistakes he's making. Why is that happening?
Okay, I have to go to grab something to drink, and I'll be back.
Go ahead, right. Reminds me to get a drink myself. Okay, so time has started, and I'll join you all in chat now because I kind of started a bit at full throttle, and as Lucas joined me, hadn't really got time to finish setting up everything. But yeah, it's a good start. An interesting start. All those Trade Federation drones, those names don't all fit on my overlay for the player camera. Okay, now, so Arkadiusz has got off a pretty a solid win in that last engagement by completely crippling that Trade Federation bomber, Trade Union bomber, sorry. And that's going to play out more to his advantage. And now Rolf finds himself in a position where he's got to kind of recover now. He's left his he's left the opportunity for Arkadiusz to come in full throttle onto his flank and his rear. So he's basically got to turn those droids around. He's got to turn them around, otherwise he won't have any shots this round either. And they're just going to keep pummeling him from behind.
Definitely. I think the droids shall go with one heart now, and it will be a bulk off because the resistance will surely go forward. And I think it will be just pure firepower against pure firepower, and we'll see who will prevail. I think resistance got an upper hand here because they got the PS advantage, and they got the hull upgrade advantage because the droids are 3 HP. They can just get annihilated before anything can happen.
Yeah.
And then we will see what's left after that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, like I say, unless he pulls them all around, it's going to be another round of free shooting for Arkadiusz. And like you say, it's a question of what gets left afterwards. The Techno Union bomber is probably going to go down this round. And
I think this is a 2 talon roll.
no, just a 2-turn.
During the first round.
Okay. So yeah, thank you all for joining us this early in the morning. It means a lot to us. We've got a really good game showing up so far, and Arkadiusz completely dominating Rolf in that respect. Let's see if we can get this lucky with all the games we're going to get today. Could you pass me over that bottle, please?
Sure, of course.
Thank you. So for those of you who aren't aware, Lukasz, let's go through your history as far as titles and stuff. You made the semi-final. You made the final in the System Open in Spain in 2016.
Yeah, I was.
You went
second
on
there.
to win a System Open in 2017 in Germany.
I was second there.
You were second. Which
Yeah, I lost to the guy from Poland.
As Radoslav, and Radoslav
Yeah.
couldn't go to the tournament, and you were
Exactly.
like, "Well, it should be me that goes."
Yeah, but the FFG forgot about this rule. And yeah, basically that's. And then.
But then
in
the next year, you
2000
won Germany,
It was like, yeah, the next year I won Poland
Poland.
in Krakow here,
Yeah.
the place. And this year I went to the Netherlands, and I went second there. And I lost to the amazingly good player from the Germany with his 4 Phantoms.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
during this I went to Coruscant.
Yeah.
I was 4th.
Yeah. You did really well at Coruscant
Yeah.
as well.
And so far I've been to 4 ETC or XTC.
Yeah. You've played at all 4 so
I
far.
played all 4. 2 times we won, 1 times we were second, and 1 times
Yesterday
we were 4th.
we're 4th place. Yeah.
So there was a ball.
So yeah, he's tried to pull around with the droids, but I'm not sure if if it's going to be exactly what he needs, because Luulo and X-Wings, they can barrel roll back out of those arcs and probably still get another free round of shooting.
I believe the Lulo will just go too forward and then fail boost and take a focus, so he will have stress and he'll just evaporate one of the droids. I think so. Or maybe he'll go for the safer play and try to avoid the whole swarm, but I think if you got 2 other ships in front of the swarm, it's just no point in avoiding. Somebody have to take the damage. And we can see the Separatist player recognize the threat that Nin stands for, and he target locks him for everything. But he forgot to take calculates, and that's strange a bit for me.
Let's see if I fit in there between the droids.
Oh yeah, too hard, rotate, boost. That's good option too.
Yeah. So first I will perform a boost, and then I will take a stress to rotate my arc to the back.
Okay,
Let's
so
see
he
how
rotates his arc backwards after boosting,
Dice.
and he's out of arcs there with
All those
Luulo.
precious locks are on Nin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him very hard.
Maybe.
I'm just curious why Lulu go first before V.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they just realized.
They recognize it. Realize. So V will be the drone hunter,
Yeah.
probe drone.
I will coordinate Elo, and Elo will perform a focus. And now for the X-Wings.
Right.
So he coordinate the focus
So yeah, to
on the
yeah,
Elo.
Yeah, esto es Elo. Yeah.
Elo will flip his wings
Okay, so closes.
as his S4 is closed.
S4 is closed with Elo, and he's going for a free bank to the right.
So that way he can barrel, right?
Yes.
I'm guessing.
But he will just block. This
No.
droid.
Okay.
I made a mistake.
Well, mine is probably bigger.
It is.
You all should have had focus now.
And he still gets full dice in the side on his S4s.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So the aggressive approach of the Elo Asti will focus, probably target lock on some of the drone.
Yeah, Arkadiusz said it was a mistake. He closed his S-foils and then moved forward. I think he wasn't expecting to be quite so close or quite so far to the left, to the right with the maneuver. Now Nien does a 2-bank to the right.
Which is pretty interesting, because if he wants, he can do a barrel roll, take a gas cloud evades for free
Yeah.
from those drones with 2 attack dice, so they
Yeah.
will basically do nothing for him,
Yeah.
and shoot to the bomber who is on 2 HP.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once again, what was the crits on
The crits are the structural damage, blinded pilot, and stunned pilot.
What is structural damage? 1 defense die less, yeah?
Yeah, man.
And
Okay.
he will focus and barrel
So
roll.
structural damage is while you defend, roll 1 for your defense die.
And
Sure.
Blinded pilot, while you attack, you can only modify your dice by sending force tokens. And the stun pilot is after you execute maneuver. If you move through or overlapped an obstacle, you suffer 1 damage.
Sure.
Right,
So
now all three of those
Right.
cannot be healed by actions. They're all permanent.
Arkadiusz realized his opportunity and will proceed to annihilate the bomber.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of it, and basically Nien's the only ship that is the ship that has the best opportunity to do so.
I think the Discord missiles are fired now. Yeah, it is a Discord missile.
Is it? All right, yeah. Or is he thinking about it? Yep, so he launches it against...
I can hold the cloud and move.
What's up, mate? ¿Qué pasa?
It's a barely miss, I think, which is
Yeah,
extremely lucky for Arkadiusz, because that would stick. When you are in front of a whole group of droids, that would stick. Because
And it just missed, huh? Yeah.
in the next round, this is a bump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's my turn, right? So LOST
Shouldn't he burn his
will get range 1 for dice
calculate for
shot
that?
of number 6.
I really don't know.
Anyway, I got to concentrate on combat. You look that up. 3 hits become 4 after the target lock. Blank and focus on the dice. I guess he spends a calculate.
1, 2, 3.
A dead Trade Federation drone, right? That's the Discord. Oh, no, that's the one with shields. Okay. What's happened there?
Wow.
This is slow today.
You have to spend the calculate token. He didn't do this, so that was, I think, pretty unfair.
Lulo will shoot with 4 dice. from his
What I'm not understanding is what happened.
The droid went off.
How did he get damage under shields?
Just gonna spend this dice.
He took damage cards and he's not removed the shields. So I'm not sure what happened. What is there something that does that? The Eloasti?
No, it shouldn't, because Eloasti killed the. They just put in the wrong place the damage card, I think.
Integrated. That's what I'm
Eloasti
saying.
killed one droid.
He killed the
droid
one with the
with,
Discord
energy,
missiles.
So with Discord missiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 hit.
So they just put the
Rerolls
cards in the wrong
for 2.
place. Well, 2 natural evades there. A lot of is happening here.
A lot. Yeah. there's a lot of stuff.
So the target locks are used on the wrong ship. No shot. Let's see what she's got. She has some target lock anyways. She's gonna shoot straight on LAC.
I can ask them for the damage card.
She's got
What damage cards?
The Bulba.
Well, let's wait till.
Till the end of the round. Yeah?
Yeah, because I think he's obviously put them on. He's got the 2 cards right next to each other, and so he's obviously put them on the wrong one. Why is that staying orange?
It's not there. It's on the one with.
It's on the card that's got the 2 shields on it, right? It should be on the other card. And I've got to try and fix this, because now the system thinks he's got half points on the thief and outlaw, and it looks like my internet's died again. Yeah, no, I'm trying to fix it because it thinks he's got half points, and I'm trying to take everything off and then put everything back on. There we go. Now it doesn't think he's got half points. So another 2 hits.
You have a lot here.
I know. So the wrong spot.
Ah, here.
Yes.
So only 2 dice from me, right?
There's no extra left.
So far, Arkadiusz didn't take a single damage, I think.
Not yet.
1 shield.
1 shield now on Nien.
One shot.
Wrong button.
Number 10 is shooting primary.
Here?
Yes.
Right.
Is it range 1?
On L.
This one. Yeah.
Was that you? Did you?
Feet already shot.
No problem.
I have these 2 left.
All right, my bad.
As we were saying, there is a lot of
There's a lot of movement going on. I swear I saw him reach over to near numb, and then he did it on the other side. 1-2, and a focus becomes 3-2 and a crit. And there's 2 evades there, so he takes 1 shield more on Elo Asti.
And the last one. Evade, shooting the charges.
Also here?
And the energy shell charges. 1 hit, 1 crit. 2 blanks. Heroic, re-rolls. Gets 2.
So basically, Arkadiusz couldn't take less damage in this round
No.
than he does.
I
I think he can be pretty happy. I'm going to ask for the damage cards, okay?
I can shoot here.
No, I'll do it.
Okay,
Mate.
no problem.
Can I also shoot at this little guy?
Yes.
Yeah, it's range 2. So I'm shooting at the boss. 1 hit.
You got 1 hit, and he rolls a focus, 2 blanks, and the buzz droids are destroyed. And now they go back to dials.
That's number 6, yeah. You are correct, sir.
That's all taken care of. Normally I wouldn't try to interrupt, but like I say, it's kind of a situation that could cause problems later on.
And I'm curious if Lulu even shot it there, fired.
She did.
Okay,
I
she did
think
nothing.
it might have been V fired on the buzz droids.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got the attack off, but he didn't seem to do any damage on it. No, he didn't do any damage from his attack.
I believe the Lulu is going to go inside now, going back to the swarm with 2 hard. But I really don't know what the X-Wing will do, because there is so much that can go on. If V moves first, then I suppose Elo Asti could take coordinated boost and then hard free Talon roll to whatever side and just be on the back of the whole swarm. And that would be pretty amazing. But if they move first, it just would be useless.
Okay, mate. Right, so Arkadiusz is obviously going to want to try and press across with Elo, or maybe with Elo.
Where your droids are headed this way.
Niennum would be pressing across, chasing on that droid, the Trade Union bomb, because he's not taken that off the table yet. He needed to try and do that turn. Didn't manage it. Elo would probably be pulling off a Talon roll maybe, or a K-turn to get behind the Trade Federation drones. Let's have a look here.
Start with the dorks.
We're getting out of the way so that I don't ram you with my transport.
That should be like, we should take damage, right?
Yeah. Can only flip the blinded one.
I forgot to remove this, so.
Or you can perform a different action if it's.
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so you forgot to remove the focus token. He's decided to stick with it. Now, the Trade Federation drones come up full throttle to try and jump. I think maybe they're going for V. The V Moradi. Or maybe even trying to block. Yeah, trying to block Nien Nam here. As Nien's probably going to go for a shorter maneuver to try and chase down the Trade Union bomber without overcompensating. Okay, and yeah, he's just kind of like trying to create like a blocking wall for the two X-Wings to try and prevent them from pursuing their target priority and trying to get free shots off maybe on Vimaradi.
I have to start with V. She's moving one thing left. She has no fear. She will perform like coordinate. And let's see if I can coordinate. Hello? Yes, I do. And
So the drones went for...
They kind of set up like a blocking formation for the two X-Wings, I think. I think that was the objective more than anything else.
I think that's a little bit strange because this Nin, if he would like to distress, he would bump the place when none of the drones could
Seems
fire
like
here.
that's the only available position
So
for
it's
me.
a long shot for the separatists.
So I have to
Maybe
live with it.
profitable,
And
but
I
I'm not
take
entirely
stress
sure if it will.
Okay, here we go. This is the no. Right. I'm trying to find something I have to post on Facebook right now.
I will rotate my arc to the front.
Then you just try 5 straight.
Here he's not posting. I don't know.
When Elo activates, he flips his wings.
Okay, so opens S foils.
Clears the stress and bumps.
Yeah. Bumps into the back of the two Trade Federation droids, but it's not a bad position to be in. He's going to get a pretty powerful free shot on the number 9 drone.
I think he does got focus, yeah?
Yeah.
So, but he took it. I really don't know what
Dean
happened.
also flips his wings.
Why he
and
did
bumps.
this.
What is it? He's got jamming beam, heroic, and there's close. Open S foils.
Really great setup for. It's great to bomb ships.
Why did he clear his own focus?
I don't know if he said something about it when he did it, but
He just bumped them and.
he said something about when he flipped it, he cleared the stress or something. I don't know. 'Cause he was stressed from the turn before,
Right at the beginning.
but he seems to have taken the shit. He just seems to have taken the focus away. I'm not sure if it was
So Neen will try.
like you say, it was just a
to
mistake.
clear 4 dice, unmodded.
So Nien Num firing
Yeah, I don't need to mod.
gets
Clearly
2 and a
didn't
crit
hit.
and an evade.
Focus.
So hit. Great.
And that's another structural damage.
On number 8.
And Elo will try
this
to
one.
finish him off.
Yes.
Halo's going to fire on the same drone.
You only
Gets
have 1 die.
1,
Because I have a structural damage.
and the structural damage means he only gets 1 evade die, but he evades.
It's still it.
You're number 7.
It's range 1, right?
I think V will be the champion of the game, and he will shoot the one droid.
Spend this guy. No. Let's see. What can I spend?
Only this one.
Is he still shooting?
Yes, she's still shooting.
Let's spend this.
I will spend the calculate. So
Is it an eye? Is it a back? Oh,
Just an eye. So shield and a hit.
How much can I take? 3 health, right?
Yes. So 2 more to go.
Cool.
So will
Hillebarg
V
will
revenge
try
his
to finish off
2 lost
Is it
HP
Detroit?
points?
2 against
V lost
1.
1 shield.
All right,
Two
thank you.
losses.
Yeah, 2 hits from a hand, and it's a dead drone.
And then drone.
V is the killer.
Right, cool.
And
So this is the point where separatists are not want to be.
so they all get cut.
Yeah.
The 2 aces are on the back.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
lost,
I mean, that's kind of been
1/3 of their swarm.
There's kind of been the situation from the beginning is that they've had the two aces behind them in the flank out of arc, and it's been too hard for him just to turn all of them around and get them in arc.
Exactly, and now they went for the bold strategy of bumping Lin and killing him with fire,
Yeah.
but they didn't realize that the X-Wing can go just 1 forward and be perfectly happy
Mm-hmm.
when they are, and now they are really behind in this game.
Yeah. There's a lot of catch up to do for the separatists, and
Exactly.
I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I mean,
That would be epic.
yeah, it would be, but I don't see it happening with those energy shell charges. No, I don't. I think the trade union bomber is pretty much out of the game. He doesn't want to
Yes.
come anywhere near those X-wings now because he's going off the board the second he gets into an engagement with them. Lulo is turned around. She'll be coming back into the next turn as well. She'll be probably doing a hard turn and then even a boost to try and catch up. I think Rolf will probably be creeping the separatists in front of Eloasti forward shortly, trying to keep Eloasti controlled and blocked. And like I say, that just means that Lulo's just going to come in from the left, from behind them.
And I think the LRC won't be controlled because the V coordination that can give him a barrel roll or boost before his movement, yeah.
Yeah.
So I really don't see a way to separatists go out from this trouble. I think they can take half of X-Wing and then V with them.
Yeah, true. I mean, Eloasti's already halfway. You can probably get V Muradi. Lulo, I don't see them getting arc on her for the rest of the game from the positions that they're in. At least for the next 5 turns, I don't think the separatists are going to have an opportunity to fire on Lulo without compromising their long-term strategy. They've got no reason to be turning to the left at the moment, and that's where Lulo is. She's gotten behind them. She's gotten into a position where she can take advantage of her maneuverability without having any reprise from them. They don't want to K-turn where they are because they're just going to be going face-to-face with the 2 X-Wings. It's just too much to take care of right now. And as you say, V will come along and she'll play her part, but she's probably going to be the other option of firing on right now. With only 2 hit points left. She's probably going to be Rolf's first target priority, followed shortly by Eloasti. But like I say, Eloasti will probably only get fired on maybe by the Trade Federation drone that's currently next to Nien Num, if he somehow manages to get himself turned around enough.
I'm set. Oh, sorry.
I have to tell that it's a pleasure to see one of my friends.
It's always fun, huh?
Is going so well on the stream.
Yeah, it's always fun. And sometimes, like for example, I like to pick people I know I've got some sort of a relationship with, and in some cases I pick people and they do badly, you know, and it's like I feel bad because maybe the game was a good game, it's just that he lost, and so like I'm enjoying the game but I'm watching my friend lose and it's kind of like, oh, it hurts, but like it's such a fun game.
I designed this in the situation. I think I was on the both ends of the situation.
Yeah.
Messing up on stream.
And it is harming to see your friend losing, but this is amazingly pleasurable to see just a good game.
Yeah, and I said before, like I know Arkadiusz. I've met Arkadiusz before. He came over. You guys came over for the first System Open and stuff like that. Rolf, I'm also very good friends with. Rolf is the guy from Escapade Games that make those grips that go in the bases, right? And he's provided me with a lot of free grips over the years, which have been perfect for getting people to not refuse to change their bases for their ships. And so he's been a great friend happened to me over the last few years as well. So when I saw Arkadiusz at a table and I saw Rolf show up on the other side, I was like, oh, this is perfect for me. I took them straight away.
It's a good game to start the stream with. So will the Ninamp go for the 4K turn this turn? I would bet it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's his best maneuver right now. Having seen where the Trade Federation drones have ended up, it's the best maneuver right now.
Yeah.
Like whether or not he telegraphed that before.
Just making the way.
I think it was still a good maneuver because always with pattern analyzer he could barrel roll to the back.
Yeah, of course.
Take the clear stress and then move forward. And still ended up in a good position. And with a 7 HP pool, he can do this pretty confidently. Famous check-in hands of the Arkadiusz.
He's a cyclist, huh?
Yeah, he's an amazing cyclist.
Yeah.
He's a mountain biker.
Yeah.
Last week he was on tournament even. In the main season he drops from the X-Wing to cycle in the mountains.
Yeah.
He rides something like 15, 16 big tournaments, cycling tournaments.
X-Wing players,
every year. And his condition is just amazing.
25 minutes left in your round. Thanks.
He's fast, he's slim.
Straight?
He's created for the cycling.
But that's where the accelerated pulse comes from, and the shaking hands, right? Is that kind of like athletic training?
I'm gonna
So what we'll do?
Once again.
He'll flip his title. Go for the 4K. Yeah, it is 4K. I believe. I hope so. I don't really see.
Well, he's got the 4 straight. I don't see him going 4 straight in that direction. It's got to be a 4K, right?
I really hope so.
Yep.
Plenty
Yay!
of actions with my
Yeah.
pattern analyzer.
Yeah, he's got all his actions.
Sorry, Rolf. So now he got 2 actions from his pattern analyzer and then from the action step.
Yeah.
I'm getting about that.
First, I will do the
He can
link.
even do 3 actions with
Focus
linked barrel roll and still ended up without any. Yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah, he
Without
focused,
any-
linked
X-Wing
to
players, just a
arrow.
reminder that your match slips can be delivered to the area just to the right of me here over at the HQ, where we have the 2 lovely large white banners that say match slips here. There is a box that is labeled X-Wing match slips, so please make sure that you deposit it into the correct box. Thank you.
Okay.
So,
Right. So here we go. Arkadiusz.
I think I saw a film once that it was black and white film, silent one,
Yeah.
German production.
and I will spend the focus for hits.
What are we talking about? I don't get
About
it.
the situation when 3 big guys and 1 small drone in the middle.
Right. Okay. I get you. Right. So he loses his shields and takes 2
Four.
cards.
Right?
So 1 HP left.
Yep.
Let's see.
That's rough.
Can you check the range?
All right. The shield didn't go off.
I will hold speed on and now.
Internet connection's a bit funny, so when I try and change it, it tries to update. It doesn't. It's not doing too well. There we go. Now it's right.
Block that.
Shake this. You can look here. This one where we go.
They are measuring the range 1.
Can you
Yep.
just check the range if it's 1 or 2? Okay. I think it's still, but. Okay, so this one is shooting.
And did you do all of this yourself?
2. Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is like a thing you can buy. He's got one over there on Gold Squad. They've got one of these things. This is a stream deck. Up until recently, what I would do is I'd have a wireless keyboard, and I just had every single button on the keyboard to do something. But it got to the point where I had so many screens that it was too complicated remembering which key did what. And so this thing gives me like little images that tell me what I'm doing. It's just pressed and it takes care of
Do
it.
you get your calculates?
But
And so
once again, the level of professionalism you are presenting today, and every
Thank you very
single
much.
tournament you've been to, is just pretty amazing.
I always.
I really love to
do
see.
you know what the problem was?
Yeah.
The reason for that is because when I started, nobody else was doing it.
Yeah,
And the
you were
idea
first
of
one.
the idea of going to national championships, the system opens, and being like, one sec, let's do this combat round. And we'll talk about this.
We've missed the Bulbasaur.
The
dying.
Bulbasaur dead. Bulbasaur.
Oh, this is terribly depressing.
It's terribly depressing for Rolf. I get the impression he gets to fire back on V. He's going to try and take V down with the Trade Union Bomber. The Techno Union Bomber, sorry. One crit on a hit gets focused on the calculate, and he's got 2 evades, so nothing happens there. And he's still got the Trade Federation drone at the back that can still fire on V.
Also here?
Yeah, of course.
I think so. See,
That's Neen, and Neen is full. Hello, the yellow one is without 2 shields. V is on 2 HP left. And she has no heroic and no tokens.
So,
It's cocked, you can
2
reroll.
focuses and a crit, rerolls the cock die, gets another focus out of it. Spends a calculate, gets hit and crit. And they're working out whether they got that network calculations. No.
From my angle, it would seem that this drone isn't in Arc. Don't
Of
have to be
Lulo? No, it's in
Arc.
Arc, mate.
Okay.
I'll tell you, from my experience, I'll tell you it's in Arc. And that's a hull breach.
That's still living.
I just hope I'm not
It's
running
amazing.
out
Got through narrowly.
in the first round for the whole
well, I
day.
mean, this is full world, so
Whoa. Okay, so
it's a good time.
yeah, I think they go back to dials
Also,
now,
I've been terribly
and I'll explain
lucky
that when
with
I
dice.
started, and like I say, nobody else was doing it. It was still a new thing, and you've got to imagine that back then, this sort of all of these guys, the tournament is number one thing, right? And me
Yeah.
showing up with, and it was less equipment in that day, but it was still I required space for 2 tables. I was just a headache for them the whole time. I was just a guy that showed up, took up space, asked loads of questions, bothered players moving them around one place to another, and caused problems for them if I didn't do things correctly.
Yeah, I remember how it was terrifying as a first experience to go and live stream as a player.
Yeah.
Because I've played competitively for something like 10 years now or
Yeah.
more. And still, this 4 years ago, when I go to your stream on Tatooine
Spain,
in
yeah.
Spain, it was a really terrifying experience
Yeah.
because of the stress you get from the exposing yourself.
Yeah, obviously. And at the same time, I've always tried to make it as
Friendly.
passive as possible. That when you're there, you can just ignore everything that's on your left or on your right, depending on which side of the table you're on, because it doesn't matter. I've done it in this match with Rolf because he put the cards in the wrong place and because he took the wrong cards. But I hardly ever go over and speak to the players because I can see everything I need to see from here. I don't need this sort of stuff. So with that in mind, it was always a question of trying to keep it professional, trying to make it as easy as possible for the organization for the tournament. And yeah, like the first time I went to the Spanish National Championship, which was the first national championship that got live streamed back in 2015, it was basically a question of like, I'm going to come along, but I'm going to try and be as in the background as possible. And so I set up, I came in, just stuck a camera on a tripod next to a table, and then disappeared run the cables through a door into a back passageway, and just kind of sat in there the whole time, so they couldn't see me. I didn't bother them. And even then, it's still a bit of what's the word for it? It's an inconvenience for them.
Okay.
Right?
But if I may interrupt you,
Mm.
I think that if anybody else but you would start doing this, it wouldn't start off. Because the way you did it, your friendliness, your kindness, and your respect that you got for the players and from the game made it as easy to get used to as it is possible.
That was something
and
that
your
was very
professionalism allow all the community to just accept the streamers, the streaming, and the whole idea.
I mean, and that's part of the reason here we've got 2 X-Wing streams today, and tomorrow we've got 3 X-Wing streams. And it's like, would that have been possible? You know, if it hadn't have been if the path hadn't been laid where it's like you can do this and not be a problem for
I
the
really
event.
doubt.
Yeah.
I really doubt so.
I mean, there were already people that were doing it, like the two Americans that were doing it at the time, Aaron Utley and Brandon. I forget his name, from Georgia. They were doing it, but obviously they were pretty much the organizers of the tournament as well, and
Sure.
so it was a bit more easier for them to boss people around in that respect. But I have always been separate from the tournament organization, and I have to keep myself at arm's length from them because they've got a job to do.
Sure.
And their job has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do.
I'm curious if Arkadiusz went for the 4K as well this turn,
Yeah.
because if I'm correct, Ninnam can do 4K through the debris cloud, then make barrel roll, focus, and still ended up without any stress. And it's pretty doable at this point.
Yeah. So
It's a bit funny, but
the
hey,
trade union bomber finally comes back into the fight.
I think
a
it's
little bit.
a wound on Bomber because he got stunt pilot.
Yeah, he's overlapped an obstacle.
I don't know if they remember about it. Yeah, they don't.
There's gonna be some bumps here.
Oh, I'm glad to hear. How fun.
Gonna coordinate. I will coordinate Nien. And Nien once again will focus in barrel roll, and he will have enemies in his front arc, so he will get no stress.
What is the case? Overlapping?
No, it's alright.
Okay.
Oh! Get a hit, right?
That's 3 interruptions I've had to do.
Well, not you, the judge. But
Well, no, yeah. Okay.
well, this is a thing on the big tournaments. You will always forget about your crits.
There's a lot
That's
of
why
stuff going on.
The crit tokens are so important, and that's why you have to be very, very careful with your token placements.
Yeah.
During the XTC, there were a few situations where players, the high-end players of the board, just forget about crits.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's normal.
I mean, it's always been something that happened, and even back in first edition, nobody ever used the crit tokens. And the more ships you got, it's even harder.
But now I think it is not an option. It's something you have to do.
Yeah, no, it was always stuff like that. It was always something you had to do, even in before.
And I will bam the gas cloud here as well. What a gas cloud.
Okay, so they're all kind of like bundling into the middle.
Calculate is number 7, right?
Let's see if PS advantage and just sheer firepower will be enough to win this game.
Let's go.
I think at this point it will. It's just question of how many half points from the X-Wing the Separatists will get.
So this hyena is on 1 HP.
Yes.
And she has structural
X-Wing competitors, that is just under 12 minutes left in your round. Just under 12 minutes left in your round.
Yeah, 12 minutes to go then.
Oh, no,
Oh,
from
she's
Elo.
sorry.
As it stands, Arkadiusz has a healthy lead.
That should be easier, yeah.
So he's firing 1, 2, 3, and a focus gets 3, and bye-bye to the Techno Union Bomber, finally.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And Elo and Nien will get a shot at number 9.
No,
So,
no,
yeah.
it's beaten and done.
So Nien at number 9. 4 dice with focus.
Neon fires on number 9, gets 2 hits. Focus gets spent for free. You got 2 evades there. No, evade and focus.
See if I can spend it. Think so?
Yeah, sure, spin it. So 1 hit.
So it takes 1 damage card.
I think they forgot about. Oh no, the Bulbasaur is dead, so there will be any triggering.
You made
It's
my
like-
heart jump again. There's
Sorry.
something else we've forgotten about. I was like, no, not again.
Yeah, I does it a lot.
Okay.
And okay, these are untouched, and this one is on 2 HP.
Yeah.
2 dice. So
I mean,
try to shoot number 7.
Arkadiusz still doesn't have a ship taken off the board, and he's only got 3 left on Rolf's side of the table. Focus makes 2 and a crit. There's 1 evade and a focus there. Takes 2 damage. 1 face up.
Number 7.
Yeah. You shot.
No, I shot with Elo here.
Ah, okay.
So the 1 damage is on this droid, on number 9.
Ah, okay.
That was first, right? This damage is on number 9.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And here you get on number 7
Hit crit.
hit crit.
And that's a loose stabilizer.
Okay.
Cool.
I have to admit that I've been at this point as a swarm player,
Yeah.
where you got your last ships remain on the battlefield.
Number 9.
Technically, it's still a game,
Yeah, absolutely.
but it's not still a game.
It's frustrating as
It's
well,
frustrating
yeah.
because you just get slaughtered.
Yeah.
You know that
Too
you are
focusing.
just fighting for the MOV,
Yeah.
nothing else. That's
Oh, you- oh.
Well, you can ask Simon if you want.
What do you want? No, you can't ask Simon anything. Was 2 blanks and a focus, and they're moving on.
Number 7.
Number 7 firing on Leulo, gets a hit and 2 blanks. Leulo rolls 2 focuses, so takes 1.
first hit on Lulu.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10. On
And they're back to dials. Okay, so yeah, it looks like there's maybe 1-2 more rounds in it, assuming that Arkadiusz can keep Rolf pinned down so they don't escape too far from him. But like, yeah, he's not lost a single ship off the board. V Moradi is damaged, but for now isn't taking shots. So who knows? Maybe he's got enough to keep her in the get one more shot out of her this round,
Sure.
and take 2 of those Trade Federation drones off this round, and then just mop up on the last round.
I think now the X-Wing will just make a wide turns back
Yeah.
and just kill 2 of the one of the drones. Lulu will fly forward and just rotate his turret,
Yeah.
and that will be it.
Yeah, so as we're coming down to the end of the game, I just want to give you that one quick reminder that this channel is supported thanks to the contributions I receive through Patreon. So please do consider going over to patreon.com/First Earth, where there's a link in the chat now. Every single penny helps to make this stream possible and get me to the biggest events around Europe. So please do consider helping us out there. And if not, as you see, people are already doing in the Twitch chat, please do consider using the Twitch Prime subscription that you have if you're on Amazon Prime to help me out. That money also gets through to me eventually, and is also a big help.
Okay.
Right, now dials are getting flipped. The probe droids move along.
Number 7.
Talon rolls with the one that's facing Lulo Lampar. It looks like probably Talon rolling to the left. Trying to get onto V Moradi, huh?
It's much better to use the designated
It looks like a bump.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, the number of drones on the battlefield are still 5.
Don't they count as devices?
Well, they got drone in the name, so I think it counts.
Okay.
I think he will go straight through. I will just remove hello and we will go through the go. I think the drone should land just next to the lock.
Do you want to hear a funny story? There was at Paris at the System Open, the player that made it to the top of the Swiss was playing the 8-ship Trade Federation drone swarm, but he turned up to round 1 with 9 ships.
What?
No, I mean, he's not like the most active player in France.
Okay.
He turned up, and the app allowed him to put 9 ships into his list, and it came up to 200 points, and he was like, okay. And it was when he started setting up at round 1, his opponent was like, you can't do that. And then they said you had to build a new list. And so he took 1 ship out and put some buzz droids in there and made it to the top of Swiss 6-0.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have any right to mock him because at the start of this separatist thing, I too created a list for 10 ships, so I understand.
We had a boy in Spain that's like 12 years old, used to play, and yeah, when he first turned up at like the local store to play, he would show up with like Boba Fett and Han Solo, and it was like, no, you can't put the two together. That was like the fucking first edition, and he was like, no, they're gonna play together. It's like, no, you can't do that. And the dude that played against him was like, well, go on then, and he let him play. And he ended up being a really good player. He made it to like top 32 in one of the biggest regionals we ever had with like 200 players.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think if he do...
He's dropped out of it now because obviously at that age you don't really hold on to these sort of interests for very long.
Yeah. I suppose, okay, that's why he didn't boost.
Yeah.
Ninnam.
Gonna rotate that arc backwards, I guess.
Number 10 is untouched.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Yes, like a virgin.
Number 7.
Number 7 has 1 hull left.
1 half. Okay, so
Oh, hang on. Good stabilizer.
okay, so there shouldn't be a bump here, but
He realized he had the crit for loose stabilizer and he did the red maneuver.
So they did forget about another thing.
Yeah.
right.
Oh dear.
I think you got
Talon
this.
roll. Yeah.
Range 1. 4 dice.
Okay, so 3 hits and a crit, and it looks like there's a focus and a blank, and there's another Trade Federation drone, but I don't know which one it was until he puts the cards. Yeah, it was the one that was untouched. So now he's just got 1 with 2 hit points left.
For the clouds.
Oh, Rolf, I'm so sorry. Just make it up to Rolf, everybody. Go to Escapade Games store and buy grips and templates and everything else that he sells. Because otherwise, yeah, please give him a hand. Try to help him commiserate his performance in this round. And that's the end of the game. Lucas, thank you very much for joining me. You're always welcome to come back, right? I'm going to go get an interview with those two.
Hey, really?
That was fun.
Couldn't do too much.
Well, I mean, no, but you flew very well. I mean, because you were so many rounds where I couldn't shoot at you.
Come have a chat. Well, thank you.
No, first let's do that.
Yeah, you will get.
I get half points on this round.
You get 17 points for the shots.
Okay, Rolf. Yay. Bad start to the day, right? A bad start to the day.
I'm gonna submarine it.
There's still a chance. There's still a chance of making it. Wow, it was okay. it was a fun game for me. As I said before, I know you, I know Arkadiusz, right?
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
they're both friends. And I made sure to mention the grips and escapade games and everything
cool.
like that, of course,
Thanks, man.
because I owe you big time for those.
Thanks.
But man, that was like a comedy of errors, right?
I did a lot of errors. Yes, I played Armada until like midnight last night, so so I was like
that would have fucked things up for you. Yeah, excuse the language, but
Yeah, second action. I want to take the target lock,
yeah,
and I'm like, hey, calculate. Oh fuck.
yeah.
That's where I take the calculate.
Yeah.
The target locks, and yeah, that would have made a difference.
And when the Leulo came in full throttle and got right behind the two, all your squadron, it's just like, right.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting them to come in that fast.
No, but I mean, I did average, but he flew excellently. I mean, I never got shots off.
Yeah.
He was never there to be shot at, and yeah, it's I have problem with resistance because of the K turns and all the red maneuvers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
and with all your crits and stuff like that, all the confusion, it was.
yeah. No, he flew very well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Okay.
it was fun. It was interesting.
So even though we have mentioned it before, we will quickly mention that you run the shop Escapade Games. Is it escapadegames.com or
Yeah, escapadegaminggear.com.
gaminggear.com,
Yeah.
where you can go to get the, for me personally, they're the highest quality grips that I've
Simon.
seen.
Thank
And a
you.
lot of people are like, grips you can just make yourself. And it's like, yeah, you're right, you can make them yourselves. But I'm really clumsy, and like your ones are just perfect. They fit perfectly in the base. You've got a little bit of elasticity, so you can kind of make them spread a bit if you mess it up a little bit. And I've been using them now for 3 years, and I've never had a player say anything about them. Always good things. And you can go over and get escapadegaminggear.com and pick
Thanks.
yourself up some of those.
Yeah, it's we're sold out at the moment. I have some with me here, but we're gonna get them packed. So
Okay, cool. All right, thank you very much.
thank you much.
Good luck with the rest of the games.
Well, Simon, thank you for a great show and doing all this
Have you
for the
been on the
community.
stream before?
Not with you. Not with
Not
you.
with you. Okay,
Some
so I
others,
got you.
so
I
it's,
checked you off the list.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you. Arkadiusz, sit down.
Hello.
What a great game. That was
really?
tons of fun. It went really well for you, huh?
Yeah, it went well. It also went fast. We almost went to the time, but the game felt pretty fast. Not too many people know that you can joust against those droids if you have enough offense and speed in your list.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to do, and it worked perfectly. I had also pretty good dice.
You surprised him a lot at the beginning when you came in full throttle. He wasn't expecting that. You pretty much got right into his flank when he
Yes.
couldn't fire back on you. And
Yes.
from then on, it was a question of him having to try and turn the whole squadron around to get back at you. And it was
And he didn't have enough time.
he
at
didn't
that
have
point.
enough time. Yeah, it was just too late. You also didn't lose a single ship. You only lost half points on V Moradi. and then we said with him, it's like it was almost like a comedy of errors. That like it was like, oh, I forgot this and I forgot this and this one dies. And
Yeah. So with all those errors, I just tried to keep the game as casual as possible because I know that in such position, it can be really harsh for the opponent. So
yeah.
I was just trying being relaxed and be talkative and.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Thank you for appearing on stream.
Thank you.
Best of luck for your rest of your games.
Thank
okay.
you.
Cool. Dziękuję.
Thank you.